I've never been robbed in my life by a guy with a mask and a gun. I've always been robbed by guys with suits on and smiley faces.
Me too.
And so a thief is a thief. A thief's always going to reveal themselves. Someone who's always loyal to you and don't steal, they're going to be who they are. And we want to make sure y'all get everything because Fat Joe in Dallas, Texas every week. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. We sure
So what I
appreciate
can
you
tell
being
you
here, big
is,
dog.
it was my birthday last week.
Well, happy birthday.
And so, I'm on like my 10th dinner, so Nori, my brother Nori, took me out of dinner. A couple of my friends took me out of dinner. So we recently went to this Bad Bunny restaurant over there in Miami. And we went to this Bad Bunny restaurant. It's beautiful. We all came, and I told them when that bill came, they must have knew what that bill was looking like because everybody had like alligator hands, short arms, and deep pockets. Yeah. Nobody, when the bill coming, everybody looking around. I said, God damn, I take you back. You embarrassing us right now. I opened it, I said, damn. I knew nobody wanted. You ever notice your friend want to pay for the diner or the Jersey subs?
Yeah, I got the smoothies. Yeah.
No, I got the smoothies. But when it come down to that lobster franchise, they got short arms. But but that's a great concept. Jumping in together on a private and going somewhere together like that. That's really, really great.
Well, what we do, man, is it gives the business people, because that's who we work with, a tax write-off. And then we talk a business strategy, investments and shit in the air. So, my sales guy, Zach, who's our lead sales guy here, he told me that he averages $93,000 in sales because we get them on there and sell them other stuff too. You know what I mean?
Like, that's great stuff.
So,
I mean, whenever you put, it's valuable. Time is the most valuable thing in the world, 100%. As you learn being in prison. That's why they throw you in prison.
Yeah.
To take away your time. They know there's a limit.
Because they know
sooner or later you check out. So, time. Just yesterday, I was in my home late night getting ready to fly early, and I got a phone call, and they were like, yo, Joe, we got somebody here. He wants you to do a feature for a big bag. And I went over there because Scott Storchak called me, one of my best friends. And he said, the guy's real. And I went in there, did a song for him, and the biggest bag came in the wire this morning. And if I was in jail, I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you spend quality time with like-minded people and business-minded people, that's priceless.
Yeah.
So it's good that they get that.
Yeah.
They say, yo, let's go and brainstorm on the plane. We go there in private. Everybody chips in, and we learn everything from each other. Because you always got to be a good listener.
Yep. I have a similar business to you. I use my voice, right? So I speak at seminars. So I share the stage. You got stadiums full of 50, 60,000 people. I'm speaking in front of, 500 to 2,500 people usually. But I get a big bag for that, $75,000 a spot. So, we got the jet. Go there.
Man, you might want to hook me up with this thing, man, and get a little.
Hey, you in the right spot.
Get a little 10% or
Yeah.
something, man. Let's do that, man. Why don't you solicit me out there? I'll go out there. I do. I work with a company called MarketAmericaShop.com. Big company. Bunch of entrepreneurs, maybe 250, 300,000 entrepreneurs. They start their business online, and I'm the president of the Urban and Latino division of the company. So we do a conference twice a year where I talk to people from all walks of life. I'm talking about they from Asia, Taiwan, Singapore, China, Americans. You know what I'm saying? All type of things, and we just talk about business and belief, because what's so important to success is you got to believe in yourself. You got to be realistic, but believe in yourself. That's the most important thing. And try to be around like-minded people. Because when you're around a bunch of doubters, that's where it all falls through. Like, how could you get ahead, being around people that try to pull you back? Or then you got these people that they're cool with living mediocre lives. They're cool with not being successful. They're cool with just 9 to 5. and you might want more out of life. And these are the people that try to talk you out of your blessings.
They make fun of your success, call it first world problems and shit. You know what I mean? Right?
I mean, everybody thinks you're crazy till you become successful. Yeah. You know, I went around, I used to, you gotta keep it down. I went around, I used to hustle, you know, in the streets, you know, and I was very successful at that. Right? So everything I do it in like, I have an addictive personality. So everything I do it to win,
You're
win.
all in.
I'm all in. That's what Khaled says.
Yep.
Khaled says to me, one day I'm defending, he's arguing with one of my friends, right? But our friend. Yeah, fuck him and this and that. And he said, and I'm defending our friend. Our friend is not there. And I'm defending him. Nah, he's a good guy, this and that. And he backs up and he says, Joe, when you're in, you're all in. I said, yo, he noticed, like, yo, I'm trying to defend our friend, even though Khaled's our brother. But he knows, damn, man, the man ain't even around and Joe's going all out for him, you know. And so I'm all in.
That says a lot about you, though, by the way. Like, whether he's there or not, you're that same person regardless. So that says a lot about your character. Yeah.
And so what happens is that so many people come from different walks of life. And as successful as you get, you may get around billionaires, successful people. I never change my tone of voice. I never change who I am. If you want to be around Fat Joe, you know what you're getting, and he's the same man all the time. And if you're proud to be next to me or stand next to me, then we're good in any situation. And so I remember getting back to the hustling. I was telling everybody, yo, I'm going to quit. I'm going to be a rapper. And everybody laughed at me. You know, all these guys wound up doing 20, 30 years. And, you know, thank God, you know, I went on to do my music and be successful.
You know, that's me. I did time 3 years in state and federal prison, 8 different prisons for selling drugs. The retirement of the business we're in now is we get to go be on a beach somewhere, blah, blah. Retirement from the drug game is usually incarceration.
Oh, no, you jail.
Yeah.
You in jail? Oh, murdered.
Yeah. Exactly.
By your best friend.
After jail. Yeah, there's no... You've got to find a way. I understand I had to use it as leverage. You had to use it as leverage to get started. But, man, the faster people can understand to get the hell out of that, the better, you know.
Well, you know, I had a friend. I got a friend. Not I had a friend. My stylist and my brother, his name's Terrell. And one day we vacationing 2 years ago, I think. In the middle of COVID, we went to Turks and Caicos, rented this big mansion on the beach. And we was all there, our family. I think Khaled was with us, too. And I was in the pool with him. I was just telling him the stories of all these guys I grew up with that were really bad guys. And I was like, yo, Terrell, these guys are bad guys. He said they wasn't that bad because they didn't kill you in the lobby of a building.
That's true. It's true.
And so with that game, drug game and this and that, people kill you for nothing. You know? And so, you know, it's almost like when you watch the guys on the news. Guy goes, sticks up a gas station for $200 on robbery, and you're looking at him with no mask on. You saying, "Damn, you might as well try to bank or something." Yeah. You're going to jail for 15 years. They are not playing with that armed robbery. Yeah, like you're gone, brother. Like no mask on. You know, you might as well commit suicide or volunteer for jail. You know,
she should have drove straight there, bro.
Yeah, you should have walked in the precinct for $300. Told the cop give you $300. Right? Jesus, it's amazing what people do. And how they don't prepare, you know, it's a sad thing, you know.
So you're in the streets doing your thing, and you make the decision that you're going to get into music. And this is before, like now, that's what everybody's doing, right? These young guys, they know.
No,
that's
I was
the way
way early.
That's what I'm saying. You're way early in the game. So what's that like? What light bulb? Because this wasn't social media time. This wasn't everybody got the beatbox and all the shit that where they can auto tune and stuff like they can now. You know,
what happened was I was fortunate enough to see the success. Sometimes it's very important, guys. Some people become successful on their own. Some people have to see it. Me, myself, I have to see the success. So one of my friends I grew up with was Lord Finesse, the rapper. And I knew him. He used to sell newspapers. So where we come from, you know, Texas is so different. I remember the first time I brought Scarface to New York, and I took him to my projects. He said, damn, they stack you motherfuckers up on top of each other. In Texas, we at least got houses in the hood. I'm like, well, you know, so in the building, Lord Finesse was the paper boy. So every Sunday he would come around and he would go, paper, and if you wanted one, you get it. So you pay him an extra 50 cents and you have the newspaper. And so my mom's always did it every Sunday. And so he told me one day I'm going to be a rapper. And I was just like, you're going to be a rapper? Like, you know, this was like the biggest dream. This is impossible. This is the most impossible thing you could think of. And one day I'm listening to the radio. DJ Red Alert plays the brand new Lord Finesse. I almost died. And so when I saw that somebody from where I'm from could make it, that's what empowered me to leave the game alone and believe in myself and go do this. And thank God I did.
Somebody showed you an example of what was possible. You know, that's the way I am too. If I see that somebody else can do it, I'm like, well, if they can do it, then it can be done, which means that I can do it. You know?
Never with hate and never with jealousy.
Yeah.
And so as much
true.
as people like to think that you need to be jealous of somebody or hate somebody. When I go to Puff Daddy's house, and trust me, this house is amazing.
I can only imagine.
It only lets me know I knew him before he had this. So I'll say to myself, man, you're a little bit behind this guy, but you could get this. You can obtain this. And that's how you got to look at it, as inspiration, not jealousy, not hate, but just get inspired by someone else, and you can obtain that yourself, or maybe even bigger.
So, you know, as me as a young man watching you and Pun too, you know, back in the day, and come up, like, we see that, oh, all of a sudden Fat Joe and Pun, they got hits on the radio, they're out of nowhere. But what happened during that time when you make that decision? That's really what
crazy.
Yeah. What happened before that overnight success, that big
My
hit?
My first song I ever put out went #1 in the country. It's called Flojo.
Okay.
At the time, so you got to almost look at hip hop, even worse. But there was a time when Magic Johnson got paid $1 million for a year, and they threw parades. He was on every magazine cover, the $1 Million Man. That was the salary cap at the time, right? Now you got kids getting $400 million,
Yeah.
$50 million a year. It's a different time. So Flojo went #1 in the country. I was getting $500 a show. I was doing 3 shows in one night trying to make $1,500. There's nothing you can do about it. Wow. That was the budget.
Nobody hears that side of shit.
That was
$500
the
a show with
budget.
a #1 hit.
Man, I was doing shows with Wu-Tang. They had 13 guys. And at least I caught 500. Wu-Tang had 13 guys. I don't know what they was eating.
They was working for $10 each.
$10 a piece, bro. Like, I mean, that was it. Right? That maybe LL Cool J, to starve the world, was getting $5,000 a show.
Wow.
Like, so it wasn't no money in it like that.
Because rap wasn't what it is today either. You know, it wasn't the most popular
I don't know, you
genre
can't just get it. Now it's so accessible, but it just wasn't money then.
Yeah.
Right? Not like now. Now you got a little kid, God bless him, I won't say little kid, but you got a guy like Juice WRLD, Extension, XX Extension, rest in peace. You got so many of these guys, they never even left the house. Yep. They just made a hit, put it on the computer, and exploded.
Yep.
Somebody knocked on their door and said, I want to sign you, here's $20 million.
That's great.
That wasn't my journey.
Yeah.
My journey, I started amateur night at the Apollo. We won 4 weeks. I was really Fat Joe. So I was like close to 600 pounds, no bullshit. Close to 500 pounds, like 480 was the biggest I ever was. I used to sneak up in buildings in Manhattan and walk up 31 flights of stairs. You know, the only
at 400 pounds.
Yeah. The only way to explain it to you, did you ever see Carlito's Way?
Yes.
You seen when they were chasing Carlito through the subway station, where you had the fat mops that was chasing Carlito, and Carlito running up and down the escalator. He almost got. That was me trying to go play somebody my demo and say, please give me a record deal. And once I got signed, I would do stuff like make up my own posters. Right, it'd be like Fat Joe the Gangster, these big posters, and I would go. This wild Flojo was turning into #1, and we would go all night with a bucket of glue, and just pasted all over New York City. Big giant, I mean, as big as this wall. It was me like this, Fat Joe. But every night I come home whiter than white with glue all on me, and you know, but I mean, I did everything you could think of, man. I sat at the you know, the radio station. I would call up the radio station. They had something, hit it or quit it or something. I would call, yo, that Fat Joe, and switch my voice and do. But I was just determined to get ahead.
Whatever it took.
And whatever it took, by any means necessary.
Man, and so at what point along the way, you got Flo Joe and obviously more hits, and like, which one was the one that was like, okay, this song?
Well, I was on my second. I was on my second album, right? And towards the end of the album is when I discovered Big Pun, right? And so when I discovered Big Pun, you know, the first time I heard him rap, I begged him to get in my car. He was outside a bodega in the Bronx. I was like, no, get in the car. So when I came in the game, I got in the game before Notorious B.I.G., rest in peace, that's my brother. So I saw how Puffy did it. I knew Puff Daddy when he had his chain was so small, it was like invisible, see-through. You hear me? So I seen what he did with Biggie, how he made him a sex symbol, a this. So when I met Pun, another example, when I met Pun, I said, you gonna be the Spanish Biggie. I'm gonna put Versace on you. I'm gonna make you the man. You're gonna be a sex symbol. And I knew Pun was actually way better than me, but I was on my way, you know, to being very successful, as it was. But then I devoted all my time and energy to Pun and played second, and every relationship I had. So if Pun wanted to do a song with Wyclef, the Fugees just sold 30 million records. They were the biggest in the world. So I know Wyclef because I came up with him, but I'd be like, yo, I need you to work with my artist. Do you know how hard is that for you to tell me, Joe, I want you to do a song with this guy right here?
Right.
It's almost impossible. Right. And I'm not 30 million sold in one album. But I was pulling every string I could to get Big Pun to where he was at. So I would say our first big success was Big Pun. You know, Still Not a Player. That was the franchise.
Still a hit today.
Yeah, it is. But that was our first taste of money, like real taste.
And that's on Terror Squad Records?
That's on Terror
So you're
Squad.
still getting royalties from that, I'm guessing,
well,
right?
when he passed away, I gave all the rights to his family.
Okay.
So I don't own it no more.
You really are a good dude.
Huh?
You really are a good dude.
It's a fact, though. But I gave him all the rights to his music. They got his likeness, everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's on them. You know?
One of the best rap songs, like, ever. Like, because I'm that 90s, you know, 2000s, is Twins with you and Pun, man.
Me, I'm sorry.
It's all good. When he's like in the middle of Little Italy, man, that dude
it's
just
my mother. Mommy.
Oh, Mom.
I'm doing an interview. I love you. I'm in Texas. I'm safe, okay? Yeah, I'm already here. I love you. I'll call you back later. I love you. God bless you, Mom.
We got to check in with Mom.
You know, she cares about these flights more than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what moms do.
The minute that them tires touch the ground, that phone ring, it'd be my mom's. Are you there? Are you safe? Yeah, Mom's safe, you know. I'm just so we'll get to that, but I'm just so blessed to still have the comfort of my mother and father, you know, on the earth still. And when I go to their house, I just feel so safe, you know, and they live so old school, like they just old school. The furniture's old school. The food, they still cooking with lard.
Just like you grew up.
Yeah,
right?
just like and so I go there, I just feel safe. You know, sometimes when I'm confused, when there's a little bit too much going on out there, I go to my mom's and pop's house, and I take my shirt off, I let my fat flow, you know what I'm saying, sit on the couch with them and just talk and do everything with them. It just feels great, you know. Twins deep cover, amazing. At the time, they had the East Coast, West Coast war, and I said, Pun, we need to rap over something that the West Coast will play. And so the most East Coast sounding West Coast beat was Twins Deep Cover. And so we went in there and we did it. And so the biggest moment of Twins Deep Cover is obviously the dead in the middle of little that we know that we riddle. That technically was like a joke to Pun. Pun would joke around. You know, this guy was like a
He like
genius.
Eminem level of flow, man.
He was
for
a
real.
genius.
Yes.
He was a genius. And so he was so good that he thought that was like a joke. That was like a dead in the middle, a little. Like he would say that in the middle of a restaurant, joke around. So I said, yo, Pun, you know the thing you always do? He was like, what? I said, dead in the middle, a little. We need that in there. He was like, are you crazy? That's whack. That's just a joke. That's just. I said, I'm telling you, put it in there. I'm telling you. Man, when that record came out, we could not perform that song one time. We would have to go about 6-8 times, and it would always stop at dead in the middle of it. And I never forget one night we did the Apollo, and Apollo Theater coming back after being an amateur. It was just so big to me, and Pun, what it meant to Pun too. And I remember we just kept doing it, and it looked like, because you know it's an older theater, I just felt like the mezzanine was gonna crack in half, like it was just gonna. Bro,
What's going off in there, huh?
We was just doing crazy. Like we would do it and go backstage and come back and do it again and go backstage and come back and do it. Like it was just disgusting. It was just too much going on. And people were climbing up, literally trying to climb up the walls. It was just too much electricity in there. That's Twins Deep cover right at the prime.
Beat. Yeah, that's a.
But talking about when it first came out, when it was the shit, it was like it was I never forget
of type of music, you know what I mean?
Dude,
like, yeah.
I thought the thing was gonna break.
That's badass.
The thing was gonna. I thought it was gonna crack, and I never said a word yet because that's all him to dead in the middle. I never even said. Probably by the 7th time, I go, it'll be a cold way, and I go like it was like people just wanted to hear that dead in the middle a little, and the whole crowd tried to say it with him. That's incredible.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing, man. He was a very talented guy, man. Very talented. So you've done music, then you created your own label, then you got into movies. I mean, there's not much that you haven't done. You've done endorsement deals, everything else. At what point do you stop so much relying on? You never stop relying on it, but stop pursuing as much the rap money and then start working for wealth.
Finally now.
Okay.
You know, we own a very lucrative business. We own a sneaker store. I could show you the lines today. The lines.
To get in the store.
Today.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about a while ago. I'm talking about right now.
It's in the Bronx?
Present. I got one in Harlem, one in Washington Heights, and one in the Bronx. Look at this thing right here.
Oh, shit, that's right now,
That's right now, today.
Y'all got a new release, or that's just regular shit?
No. That's the Bad Bunnies came out.
We were just bumping his stuff earlier for you.
Oh no, he's incredible.
Oh yeah,
but
huge name.
So we invest back in the community. You know, I have a school in this store where we take kids in after school that don't have access to computers, and we have teachers that come and give in their time, and it's successful people. When you're in New York, we need you. Successful people tell their story to these kids. Are so blessed. I don't know how to explain it to you. I walk in there, guys who own skyscrapers, malls, they're telling their story. That's the way they give back to these little kids, and these little kids are learning from, it's a beautiful experience. And so we like to invest in our community. A lot of artists, they get successful and they run away from the community.
Yeah.
I want the old lady to know that Joe's still here. I want the old man and the kid to know that you ain't got to run away. You could be right here. Now I have about four to five different TV shows coming out this year.
I saw that.
Yeah. So, it's amazing. I got a book coming out in November. When you get that book, man, I'm gonna give you my number so you can tell me what you think about the book.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
we'll get that bitch to number one. That's what we do.
I got my
around
heart
here.
and soul into that book. I mean, there's so much transparency, wins, loss, me getting bullied as a kid, everything's in there. Like everything. It touches everybody. Yeah. And so
what's it called? Can you tell us?
It's called The Book of Jose. It'll be out. Then we already, the book ain't come out yet. We already got a series with Showtime.
Oh, nice.
With Kenya Barris and the Terrero brothers, and so they heard about the book, and they're like, nah, we want the series. Like we need to turn this in. So many blessings, but me to answer your question legitimately. My whole life I wanted to be the best rapper. And some other people could lie to you, but I'll tell you the truth. It was always a marathon for me. It was a rest in peace Nipsey, but it was always the long haul. And it's still the long haul. And so what I bank on is legacy. I bank on when I'm dead, long gone, 20 years after. Somebody got to come to my daughter, somebody got to come to my kids and say, yo, we're going to make a fucking blockbuster movie about your dad, and we're going to use all his syncs and all his music. And then 20 years from now, she's going to get the biggest check in the world to land on her lap. Right. And so that's why I do it. And then you know, you got Apex, but believe it or not, you got competition. So whoever the competition is, or whoever we live in a world where they won't give you your flowers or your true just due because they have certain animosities. Yeah, somebody's wife might think you handsome. Who knows why the hell they don't like us, right?
It's true.
But in 20 years after you leave and they start doing the history and going back in the books and say, God damn, you believe 20 years after I die, some young kid, 18, is gonna play Twins Deep cover, be like, holy shit, these guys were fucking crazy.
Right.
You're
right though.
It's a whole new thing going.
Yep.
You know, the Ramones, they never got they just due while they were on Earth.
Most artists don't.
They
you
don't.
know, whether it's
They don't.
Monet or a
you're
painter
right.
or
You're right.
Basquiat, nobody was really bumping his stuff
Get
when
it
he
on
was
Earth.
alive. You know what I'm saying?
Once you gone, they realize the greatness.
I think that's one of the blessings God gives us for being artists, is to ensure the future generations of our deeds. You know what I mean? It's like, because a lot of us, man, I'm first generation money, you're first generation money. We don't know what the fuck to do with it. We've had to make a lot of mistakes to figure it out.
A lot of mistakes.
Had been misled by a lot of snakes, a lot of mistakes, a lot of snakes. You know what I mean?
I've been robbed so much.
Shit,
and
me
I'm going
too.
to tell you something, right? And this is real shit. If I was Wayne Johnson, right, and my guy worked for Fat Joe, and he was thinking about robbing Fat Joe, I would literally tell him, don't rob Fat Joe. That's not the one you rob. Because you might get hurt. Chances are 99.9% you're going to get hurt bad, right? They'll still rob you.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you see these movies, Troy, right? Where the guy he took his wife. The guy he took his wife was a badass motherfucker. Bad fucking the warlord of all warlords. Yep. Million people died over hell in the Troy. Yep. Right? But there's a temptation that a guy will sleep with your wife no matter what type of killer you are.
Yep.
Right? And so these things happen in life. And so the worst thing about money, because I realize as I get older, you know, and that's why you couldn't possibly know what you know now then, because you got to go through so much to gain that wisdom.
Experience.
This is why
Wisdom comes from experience.
This is why we do this, so the younger generation, such as yourself, could learn and say, "Oh, I don't have to do that." And so that's why we do stuff like this. But you know, what's worse than money, because money comes and goes. I've had money, lost it, get it back, lost it, get it back, this. The money's going to come. When you're a hustler, destined to make money, you're going to make money. Whether it's selling socks, you could be selling the inside of the pocket, the inside, and get rich. It don't matter, right?
You ever look at a zipper, say YKK? Some motherfuckers
Somebody
put every zipper on every fucking pants.
You
Exactly.
see what I'm saying? And they're filthy rich, right? And but the thing is, what's worse is somebody stealing from you, because you know you're always going to get it back, is the betrayal.
Yeah, heartbreak, man.
And I try to tell people.
Trusted you. Know?
I try to tell people, man, you could get betrayed, move to an island and build the biggest wall in the world. Unfortunately, you can't stop the pain of betrayal. Yeah. It'll come over the wall. Yeah. Can't build a wall high enough for the betrayal. That's something, at least for me, that's like a lightning bolt in my heart. Where you're like, damn, man, I trusted you. I gave you the opportunity. I treated you like family. You still got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. And it's disgusting. And me, I never stole. I've stole, but not from people that trusted me. Right? I was hungry. I went in the bodega and had to steal the Chef Boyardee, a piece of bread, because I was
But you ain't
that
never
poor.
ripped off your homeboy.
No, I
just
ain't rip
because
off
you
my
needed to
homeboy.
with-
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I
yeah.
never rip off my homeboy.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time when we hustled, we was counting money all night, and some money was missing. It was like 6 of us. And it was my big brother. And so he was the boss. And out of all 6 people, I guess he used me as the fall guy. He said, yo, this money ain't here. He said to me, I cried like a baby because I could not believe that my brother would accuse me of stealing. The last thing I would ever do was steal from my brother.
My hero.
We
right?
counted
Probably
it
your
back
hero.
up. My hero.
Yeah.
We counted all the money back up and it was all there. But I don't think he realized what he did to me that day. He traumatized me because I'm like, bro, I'm so loyal to you, man. Yeah, I would never take $1 from you, man. I'm here to protect you, you know. And so betrayal it's a serious one.
And that's one thing about business, whether it's drugs or running a legit operation like we do here, is somebody shows you something like that. It's like, man, I would never do that to you, and you think I would, right? And it's like, oh man, it's heartbreaking. But on their side, they're also so used, especially in the drug game, so used to the snakes. Well, it's like, damn, they done got my brother too. You know what I mean? So it's so.
You know what I think
such
is
a weird
is
dynamic.
first of all, we're talking about 30-something years ago. When it comes to drugs, guys, I don't sell drugs. I'm nowhere near it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
as
would like to
legit
second
as
that over here.
yeah, you know, I'm as legit as you can be. We're talking 35 years ago, guys. But it's like, you know, I've been ripped off. How about this? I've never been robbed in my life by a guy with a mask and a gun.
Yeah, me neither.
And I walk around with jewelry like this and everything, any hood you could think of. I've always been robbed by guys with suits on and smiley faces.
Me too.
Or women that look like they're your aunts and they're the nicest in the world, and they go and they rob you. And so a thief is a thief. A thief's always going to reveal themselves. Someone who's always loyal to you and don't steal, they're going to be who they are. You know, you can't make a difference. It's almost like a rat. Like somebody who's going to tell is going to tell. Something might go down in the supermarket, and the guy that works in the supermarket 9 to 5 won't tell for shit.
Yep.
He just ain't got it in his DNA.
Yep. You know, I went in the first time for possession of controlled substance with intent to deliver, and I didn't tell on anybody. I worked for guys that I was scared to death of, and so I just swallowed my pride and went and did it. They were Puerto Rican fellas, and crazy story. I get into prison. Everybody in prison told on everybody. I was like, well, shit, they wasn't talking about that on the outside. Holy shit, right? I listened to the music. I did the right thing. Because let me tell you, God looks out for foolish people, because I went 5 years later, I go back to prison for firearm, right? Mm-hmm. You know, they catch you with some bullshit. Mm-hmm. And really, I didn't even do it. But anyway, go back into federal prison. And 3 days into this place, guess who's standing in the fucking chow line in front of me? The 2 Puerto Rican brothers I used to sell dope for. So if I had snitched on them,
they hugged you so tight when they saw you.
So check this out,
because they knew you was a stand-up guy.
Exactly. And so what they did was they put me on with the shot collar for the whole federal system, and he's worked for me for 8 years. He's in the other room.
You see what I'm saying?
Once he got out, I put him on. He got his gang tattoos lasered off. We've been rehabbing.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying to you is, look, you do what's right for you. Right? But when you do stand up like a man, like, because you made the choice to hustle, you know, and do whatever you did. When you stand up for yourself as a man, your name is solid everywhere.
Yes.
And so somebody sees you and they vouch for you like this. Yo, wait a minute, this is a good guy. Nah, he did his 3 years. He didn't tell on us. And so now you good. The door's open for you. Imagine if those Puerto Rican guys, you would have told on them and you would have seen them in the chow line.
Yeah,
probably would have got stabbed up.
Yeah, for sure. Probably wouldn't have been here today.
You wouldn't have been here today. And so the best thing me and you could tell someone is, don't sell drugs. Don't commit crimes. Do whatever you got to do. I know it's harder for you, but fight through it. And I believe that God will have a blessing for you. And as long as you believe and you stay focused, you know, blessings will come your way.
And I believe, you know, you and I, we grew up before social media, before Spotify, before SoundCloud. Like we like selling dope's really a lazy person's way out these days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if you got access to a computer, you could go on YouTube.
Well,
and
what
really
you could do
anything,
is just look at everything as inspiration.
Yep, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so you could look, if you're black, We can't say you can't be a president no more.
Yep.
Obama did it.
Yep.
Harris did it. If you, it's just, unfortunately, the success stories eliminates our excuses for why we can't be successful.
Yep.
Right? And so you see how Fat Joe did it, J-Lo did it, you could do it, and there's so many people who are successful. All right, so the thing is, you got people, see, you chose to be successful and tell your story, right? Some people, most people never get to tell a story. Some people live and nobody know they lived. Yeah. And so, they out here, they making their money. It's so many success stories. So when a guy like me gets around people, people cannot wait to tell me how they did it. And there's so many beautiful stories out there, how people came from rags to riches, how they really make their dreams come true, how they just, I meet everybody you could think of, and they run it down to me. And I love hearing about success. I love learning. Since I was a kid, I would listen to a homeless man. I would listen to a Don. I would listen to women. I would listen to everybody. I love learning. Everybody has experiences. So every day, all I do is learn and listen and listen to people and try to go to another level. And life for me, I just turned 52. It's always a hustle. Don't know about other people. But when you want money and you're aggressively seeking money, it's always a hustle.
100%.
And so it's never too comfortable. So what is comfortable? I'm sure I could do that. I'm sure I could stay in the house and collect royalty. My streaming. Yep. I'm one of the blessed guys. I'm one of the blessed OGs that make a lot of money on my streaming. But I mean a lot of money. Yeah, but I make it still. Yeah. Like you get what I'm saying? Like bangers, so fucking
lean backs getting played right
bro,
now.
A miracle. Yeah. Like, when I get these checks, I'm like, this is a fucking miracle. What do you mean? It's still coming in from this?
Fucking publishers clearing
it's like that. Yeah, it's like that. It is.
Yeah.
And so but I could probably tone it down a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just stay home But I want to get everything that life got to offer, And I'd be lying to you if I ain't tell you that I want to make the most money that I possibly can. And that's where I'm at with my life. And I'm not cool with, I don't want 10 years to go by and me talking about, I took it off. I could have really did this and that. And I got to go for it. If it's for me, it's going to happen. If it's not, at least I tried.
Yeah. I got a mentor who's a Cuban guy. His name's Bobby Castro. And he sold his company debt-free, started from nothing. I mean, he grew up like literally piss poor in Miami. Started from nothing, started what's called Bankers Health Group, right? Built this thing up, sold it for $1.8 billion, cash money, no debt against it, no investors, brother, like just hustle muscle, He's been my mentor for 2 years, one of my best friends. I tell him that you're coming here 2 days ago. This is what he said. Hey, man, I threw an episode of MTV's Sweet 16, and Joe performed for my daughter at her party. I'm like, holy shit. Do you remember doing that?
Nah, I ain't remember it, but I'm sure I did it.
Do you remember an episode for MTV Sweet 16?
I did. Yeah, that was Bobby. That's his daughter.
My boy. Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. What you see, these are stories we don't hear about. You got a guy that came from nothing. Now he's a billionaire, sold his company.
Cash billionaire.
As long as you're cash billionaire. I got a mentor too. His name is J.R. Ridinger. J.R. Ridinger is a billionaire. One day when Trump announced he was running, I said to J.R., J.R.'s like a genius, man. And he is a genius. So I said, J.R., man, you see this guy, man, they say he's a billionaire. You think he got more money than you? He said, no. Mine's is liquid.
That's different. Yeah. Mine ain't debt and equity.
That's a different billionaire.
Yeah, it's a different billionaire.
He said, no. Yep. And he's like, mine's is liquid, bro. Mine's, I can pull it out right now. And so that's a different type of thing. But I love hearing stories like that. That's what I dream and aspire to be, a billionaire plus. And
because you have to have contributed to society in order to get that money. You can't rob and
how
steal
many
your
people
way.
you
got to
know how many
contribute,
people you
man.
employed?
Exactly.
You know how many people you changed their lives?
How much?
And so the way it works for me is,
yeah.
I got maybe 75 employees right now.
Congrats, man. That's
right?
a lot.
No, it's a lot. And the way I look at it is when it comes to Thanksgiving, right? And these families sit around their tables and they cutting their turkey and they doing the prayer. You know, I'm thinking they pray for me. And they say, man, thanks to the boss, this guy, you know, it's because of him we're able to eat and eat good because we don't take advantage of nobody. We make sure everybody gets overpaid. And so my employees, man, I love them and they love me. And if you're my employee and I ever have to talk to you, you're in trouble. I don't bother nobody.
Right.
I'm happy. We're making
job,
money.
yeah.
We this and that. If I gotta pull you to the side, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, every now and then we have one of those things, you know what I'm saying, where you gotta sit down, you know, you gotta be like, look, man, we love you. We do anything for you, but you're wrong. You know, I had one guy, I don't know if I should tell that story, but it was, you know, he has a drinking problem. And somebody I love dearly, and he just kept coming to the job drunk. He would drink this, act like he's drinking coffee, it'd be liquor in it, you know, and then finally the 30th time, I'm like, yo, bro, you know, I have a boss, I have a connect. It's called Nike and Adidas. If they come in this store and you fucking drunk, laying down on the thing, it looks bad on me. And I said, well, you got to go. It hurt me because I really love this brother. Right. But, you know, in order to get respect, you got to earn respect and follow the rules.
A lot of people fall victim to what I call the force of average. You know, they get that dream job working with Fat Joe, and then they drink themselves out of it. They get on top of the world, and then the force of average pulls them back down. You know, the gravitational pull, if there's an algorithm for Earth, me and you, we're striving for greatness. So, man, we got the FTC.
They try that to us, too.
You know, yeah.
They try that to us. They try to bring us down every time.
Absolutely. We call those agents of average. If they're helping it out, they're the agents of average.
I'll tell you something, man. And I had an accountant. My accountant was incredible. I could buy this building, right, with my credit. His son got in an accident and became a quadriplegic. So he came to me and said, Joe, I can't be an accountant no more. I got to take care of my son. And I understood that. And so my attorney at the time, I told him, yo, introduce me to an accountant. So he introduced me to an accountant. This guy seemed like a nice guy. And so every month I would send him wires to pay my taxes, pay my bills, to pay my thing. And one time I go to buy a car. And when I go to buy this car, the guy says, hey, Fat Joe, do you want to sit down? I said, what are you talking about? He says, I haven't paid none of your mortgages. You haven't paid none of your cars. You haven't paid this. I don't even know why you have a car. Terrible, right? And so you haven't even paid your taxes, right? So I go, getting another pit bull introduced me. He's a good friend of mine. Really beautiful person, bro. He introduced me to an accountant. Still my accountant to this day. So I went to the accountant. He was like, yo, look, he hasn't filed in 2 years. This is terrible, this, that. So we contact the government, and the same night they come at my house like, yo, this is criminal.
Yeah, tax.
Because I thought we was, I thought we was just gonna pay it off and just move on with our life. Right. And he was like, no, this is criminal. We taking this criminal, right? And so when you got a famous guy or young lady, they'll set an example of you. You know what I'm saying? So if we lock up Fat Joe, we'll lock anybody up, right? So we proved to them that we were sending wires to this accountant, that we was paying them and he would not pay my stuff. And they said, we view you as the leader of your household, responsible for whoever you hire. And so even though I paid them back and everything, I still had to go to jail. He got away scot-free. We couldn't even sue him because he was a Ponzi scheme. And he took all his guys down. Yeah. So he ratted on like 20 Ponzi schemes.
Like
No, he's good. They love him. But my thing is, you know, you could get in trouble not even looking for the trouble.
Yeah,
and so they brought me down, and I had nothing. But what was worse for them was that I sat 4 months in jail. You can't let a smart motherfucker sit down somewhere and let him get to thinking.
Now all of a sudden you got time.
No, now I got time. I ain't got to go here, there. Right now I'm with you. They say, yo, another 5 minutes. Yo, we got to go. We got the next spot to go to, right? No, I got time.
Right.
So I'm sitting there, I'm praying a lot. I believe in God on another level. You know, I know God. I understand God. You know, I've done everything but meet God, right? And so times I've done terrible, terrible things. And guys come shoot at me. I've seen bullets make U-turns. Now I've seen miracles you can never believe, stuff that don't make sense. You get what I'm saying?
Real reasons you're supposed to be here.
Oh, my God.
Proof.
Too much proof. Yes. And so I praise him, you know. But, you know, these things, they only make us stronger. They only make us stronger, and we fight back for it. You know, some people lay down. You know, sometimes enough's enough. Some people are like, man,
this ain't for me.
I tried, man. I tried, man. Something keeps the force of average. The force of average keeps. It's almost like you running and they pulling your jersey, like you playing the football. You see what they be pulling the jersey, and he's trying to run and they just pulling him down, and unfortunately, sometimes people don't like to see their own friends or their own family successful. It's just the truth, and sometimes you got to do it on your own, and then turn around and try to help them if you can. But if they're going to still bring you the force of average, you got to shake them off. There's nothing you could do. If you're going to hamper. See, my thing is, I love everyone. If I could help my whole entire, my Uncle Dan is one of my managers, my uncle, right? I got a nephew who runs one of my stores. I want to help everybody. But listen, if you're not for the cause, if you're not pushing the agenda forward, I will not help. It's nothing I can do. You see what? It's nothing I can do. Like, if you're going to bring this down or hamper this in any way, oh, no.
It's not one person.
You're not 70, fucking this up.
70.
Oh, no, you're not messing the apex up. Exactly. You're not doing that. Like, hey, you got to go. We love you.
Yep.
We'll see you on Sunday for the football game.
That's right.
You know, but if you're going to bring this down, oh, no. And I'm clear with that. I got that on-off button that works so legendary, you know that, no. Like, no way, you know, and that's the way it got to go. At least it works for me that way.
And so you're in town performing tonight?
Yeah.
Where at?
We're going to do Bottle Blonde.
Oh, shit, that place is off the hook. You been there before?
Nah, never been there.
Oh, shit.
And then we go to Houston tomorrow. We do Bottle Blonde in Houston.
My friends own it.
Yeah?
Yeah, did Rob hook you up with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's our people, so yeah.
Yeah, cool. I mean, so we be there tonight. You know, I love Texas. You know, I've been coming down here for years and years and years. I remember I used to come down here in my tour bus when I was afraid to fly. Get in trouble in Houston. They used to have these underground strip clubs. I can't tell your people too much about that thing, but you know, that thing was legendary out there. Imagine if I brought the tour bus from New York City to Houston, Texas. Them things was legendary in there. Like, boy, the boss would come on, hey, Fat Joe, what's up? And so I'm just glad to be back in Texas.
Cool. We're glad to have you, man.
Thank you,
I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Great chatting with you. And anytime you're in Dallas, man, you need
you better
anything,
let me know about that plane, the
I
private
got you.
plane.
I got you, man.
Let me know, brother.